Hey folks, welcome back to another Dice Tower preview. I'm Mark, and today we're taking a look at Balconia, which is brought to you with Red Cat Games. It's for 2 players, ages 10 and up, and games generally run about 20 minutes. Life in an apartment complex can be hectic at times. Every resident has their own preference. Some dabble in gardening and would like nothing more than to be surrounded by flowers. Some are obsessed with cats and are always happy to see one in the balcony next to theirs. And some just want to take a nice long nap. How do you keep everyone happy? In Balconia, you will build an apartment complex, block by block, by filling a 5x5 grid. Each building block has 4 sides with different faces, and on your turn, you will draw a token to determine which block to place. Then you will choose which 2 sides of the building block you might get, and which 2 sides will be left to your opponent. Then the other player decides where to place that block in the complex. Players then swap roles for the next turn, trying to best fulfill the conditions on the balconies facing you. In the end, it's up to you to puzzle out how best to use the balconies on your side of the board. Will you build the most efficient apartment complex, gaining the most points by the game's end? Let's build some balconies. So that really is how you play the game. Very straightforward. It seems very simple at first, very easy to teach, and I like games that are like that. But it starts to get very puzzly as you add more and more balconies, trying to find those scoring opportunities, because not only are you placing balconies into the grid, but your opponent is, which could throw a wrench into all your works that you're trying to get big scores on. And it is very much a tug of war between you and your opponent, trying to get the best placement for each of those balconies. So let's take a closer look at these balconies. Now, first and foremost, the thing you're looking for in the bottom of the balcony is scoring opportunities. Not all balconies have scoring options. Some might be blank, which means that you could potentially use them in other types of scoring options within rows and columns, because that's the first thing you're looking for. So at the bottom of the balcony, if it has a scoring option on the left side, will show you the rows and columns or area that it's going to cover. And sometimes it's the row above, sometimes it's the row to the left, or it might be all inclusive within the row that you are in. And you'll have this handy cheat sheet or guide to lead you through all the different scoring possibilities within the rows and columns that you're going after. But on the other side of the balcony, it'll show you what you're looking for within those rows and columns. Maybe it's flowers, or maybe it's birds, or awnings of a certain type, or maybe you want a row and column that has no awnings in it in order to score points. Lots of different options. Again, you have a nice guide to lead you through all the different icons and what you're looking for within those different columns, those areas around the apartment complex. So just a couple examples around scoring, and they're all very thematic to what you're doing within the apartment complex. First, we have lovebirds, and they're looking for their soulmate, so to say. So you're looking for columns where they can be adjacent, but not directly next to each other. As long as they're in that particular column, you can score points. And you can only score points for 1 set of lovebirds, giving you 5 points. And then at the very top, you'll see a guy with his telescope, and he's hoping for the row above him to not have any awnings in all of those balconies so he can get a clear shot of the sky. Again, very thematic. And on the other side here, the other player, the green player, they're looking to get some sleep. So they're hoping that no people appear in the row above them so they can get some rest for that next day that they're facing and so forth. So I really like a lot of the thematic nature around how the scoring works. Really helps with getting the idea of how and where you need to place things. And again, gameplay here is very straightforward. You pick a token which corresponds to one of the box balconies, and you, whoever picked that token, will get to pick the 2 faces that potentially face you. And you'll see that you've got the pink side and the green side in the module where you place the balcony. And the other player, your opponent, will then take that using their 2 sides to place it within the complex. And it's really that simple. Obviously, they're trying to make it advantageous to wherever they place it, which could throw off everything you're doing on your side, but at least you have a couple ideas of what might show up on your apartment side. So gameplay will continue this way until you run out of tokens, you run out of balconies, and everything's been placed. Now there will be some gaps within the apartment complex, which will end up with 0 score, but you might end up with 0 score anyway based on what different types of balconies you have in play. And I really like the scoring pad as well. It looks like a reference point of the apartment complex, and you just fill in your scores and total it out at the end. Now, also, there's that starting balcony that lives at the bottom in the center, and it has different type of scoring altogether. You're looking to have the most flowers, or maybe it's the most cats or laundry, something like that, and you're comparing the two sides of the board or apartment complex to see who has the most, and then you'll get points based on that. So there's 3 different types of starting balconies, so you can choose whichever one you want, or you can randomize it every game. But in the end, you hope that you were the most efficient builder and have the most points, showing you are the best apartment owner. Alright folks, just a reminder once again, this has been a Dice Tower paid preview, and everything you've seen here is done and ready to go. Yes, this game is a published game. Go check out their website for more information. Now, that said, I really enjoyed the artwork here, fun, whimsical, and it obviously plays into all the scoring you're going to be doing, with the cats, with the laundry hanging out on the line, with the telescope. I really like, again, the theming around scoring helps remember how and what you're going to be doing with the different balconies and how you might score them at the end of the game. And again, they have those handy reference guides for sure, but you have to be on the lookout for when your opponent places in the wrong place. That doesn't really help you out, so you might have to switch gears in order to take advantage of what they did in future rounds of the game and so forth. So lots of puzzly things going on here, but folks, ultimately, if this looks like something of interest to you, I'm sure they'd appreciate your support. So I think that's it for me, and until next time, we'll see you at the table.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.